what they need more than anything else is for the Lord to fix what's broken inside of them.
Like us, we can't fix anybody. We can't even fix ourselves.
So instead of spending all this effort and all this energy and all this money trying to get somebody off the street, the most important thing that we can do for our friends on the street is to take the gospel in a manner where, you know, as Paul says, to live a life worthy of the calling that's been placed upon you. We're to live the gospel in front of these people. And in doing that, the Lord will cause them to become so hungry for that, because they'll see that relationship in us, that over time they'll want it. And they may get, you know, a portion that we think, well, you know, that's they're still homeless, but so they're not saved. And we need to come away from that mentality, that judgment, because a lot of these people will live the rest of their life on the street, and they'll die on the street.
And who are we to say that's wrong?
So as Christians, Christians, I think the number one reason for being out there is like any other missionary. It's to take the gospel. It's to live the gospel. It's to build the relationships. And I think one of the most important things in those relationships is when you tell somebody you're going to do something as a Christian, you better do it.
Follow through. And
you better do it in the time frame that you said that you would do it. Because if you don't, they never forget that stuff.
That's right.
And I cannot tell you, I've got a buddy that he's a great guy, wonderful guy. But he could pick out a fake Christian just by what they say they're going to do, and then they don't do it. In his eyes, that's a fake Christian.
Well, and who would, I mean, shouldn't a man be what he says he is? I mean, we'll know, they'll know us by our fruits.
Our fruits.
By our fruits, Would let your yes be yes and your no be no.
So when we go out on the streets to minister, I mean, we should really be conscious of what we tell people that we'll do for them. And believe me, they're going to come, and especially if you're new, they're going to be all over you, because they've already tried the rest of the volunteers, and our brothers and sisters that have been out there for a long time, and they know, well, I already talked to Kathy, she won't give me a tent. Hey, there's a new person. I can probably get a good tent out of them, And you've got to be a man of your word.
Right.
When I was growing up, that was one of the things instilled in me. This guy, he wasn't even my dad. He was a neighbor. Every time I saw him, he said, "You're only worth your word, and if your word's no good, you're no good."
Amen.
And growing up, I heard that so many times that I've never forgotten it. And so our word as a Christian is extremely important.
And we might be we might be the only church that they see. And if we're not doing what we're saying we're going to do, then we're just going to be another Christian that's put a bad mark on what Christianhood is actually supposed to be.
They used to call us pew sitters.
Yeah. And now we're trying to get the church to come out to be doers of the word instead of hearers of the word.
Yeah.
And you're true about that, because people are looking at us saying, what are they going to do? They're looking for love, and they're watching us. They're sitting back and they're observing if we're doing what we say we're going to do. And the gospel, that's what God tells us to do, right?
Yeah.